And good evening and welcome to Health and Education Committee meeting for the so far not very good month of November weather-wise, but we're doing fine, and we have no school board amendments tonight, but we do have Mr. Clardy in attendance, and he's going to bring us up to date with Stewart's Creek and Eagleville. And the first thing we need to do is approve the minutes, and entertain a motion, please. Ms. Cook, thank you. A second. Mr. Soriano, and all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And, okay, so far we're doing absolutely terrific. We have a report, and you've had it in front of you for a few minutes here on community care. And we're lucky that Carol Cook is with us, and county expert on community care. Carol?
We are doing fantastic.
See, I told you. An outstanding report. And any questions from anyone? I think it's pretty much self-explanatory, and profit and loss is good, as you notice, and Mr. King has his administrative report there, and I think we're in pretty good shape, and Ms. Cook says we are, then we must be. A motion to approve the report?
So moved.
If there are no questions, a second?
Second.
And any discussion? No. And all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Health Department report. And Gary is with us, and he has passed out the report to each of you. And Ms. Garrett, take it away if you would.
Okay, so I've attached the monthly encounter reports for October of this year, and we're going right along with where we would expect to be with all our numbers. We're seeing an increase in our primary care, the women and men's health, and the acuity of those patients is becoming, they're quite sick, coming to us with uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled hypertension. They're taking a lot of time to coordinate with those patients, but we have a diabetes team that's working with them. We're trying to case manage and seeing a lot more of that, but having better outcomes in the long run.
Any questions from Ms. Garrett about her very detailed report here? I'm just, this is just me, but I'm just amazed at the number of people that are seen at our two locations in the course of a year. I mean, it's remarkable.
Be about 60,000 patient encounters probably by the end of the year. And that's quite an increase from last year, 54,000, somewhere around there last year, estimating.
Well, clearly the county government cares about the health of its citizens. And you all do a terrific job, I think, by the way. I'll just throw that out there. Any questions for Ms. Garrett about the Smyrna office or the Murfreesboro office?
Well, I was by the Smyrna office over the weekend, I guess. Saw their construction equipment there. Apparently they're getting underway of the addition.
Yes.
How long is that supposed to take? And do you have a date when you'll actually begin the expansion?
It keeps getting delayed a bit with permit issues and land issues, and every week it's like, so we should be starting groundbreaking anytime now, which I said last month. So I'm hopeful that it actually will come soon. And then they estimate 6 to 8 months until we'll be able to utilize it. And it's going to be a great addition to help that end of the county, really focusing on making it. Right now they don't have a conference room for classes. We really want to offer classes, cooking classes for diabetics, education, nutrition education for WIC participants, the Women, Infant, and Children program. And we just don't have the space there. We're doing it, but in a little bitty closet kind of room. So with these new facilities, we hope that'll help expand and even be able to offer more services to people.
So you may be looking at August, September, getting in it.
Yes, yeah, that's the goal, 6 to 8
Yeah.
months from when we start actually going. And I think we're really close. Keep getting emails from our builder and architect that it should be finalized pretty soon.
before we continue the discussion on possibly having a meeting down there, let's get the report approved. If there's nothing else, and any other questions or comments?
Motion to approve the report.
Thank you, Commissioner Jordan. Ms. Cook seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Mr. Chairman, can I ask
Yes,
a
sir.
question?
Oh, of course.
Encounters, that's a pretty good way to put it. I don't remember it being titled like that. Intake, encounters is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Different. Do you graft your encounters like month to month, from year to year? And is it predictable? You see this many people in October versus this many people in June, that kind of thing?
It is sort of predictable. We can sort of see that we know July and August are really, really busier times.
Mhm.
December and January are lower encounter numbers during that time.
So you do visually graph that?
Yes.
Is that a way that you can utilize manpower a little bit better by scheduling some folks part-time hours more heavily in the fall of the year or the winter of the year, as an example?
Right, exactly. And we do a lot of our projects that we have to do for the year. We focus on doing those in December and January. Things like curriculums that we write for the patients that are going to be taught during that next year in those classes. Say that might be something we'd work on more during that time if the patient numbers are a little bit lower. But yes, that is something we constantly look at.
Cool.
We get almost inundated with data these days with all kinds of different graphs of all the
So if you have,
Thanks.
an example, if you had part-time help, you could schedule more hours for those folks during those peak times?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we do.
Very good,
We do. And then cut back when we don't need them.
very good, thank you.
Mhm.
Other questions? We have discussed holding a meeting at the Smyrna office, the full committee meeting. And I did put January and February on here, but I probably shouldn't have even done that. Ms. Garrett and I have already mentioned April and May as far as it getting the construction started. We can check the progress. We can wait until it's entirely through, which I believe was a comment that you made earlier. But it didn't seem to particularly matter to anyone. We just really wanted to come down there.
Sure,
And,
and you're welcome anytime.
Does
y'all decide.
this committee have any particular feeling on that, or as to what month you might like to go? Or, you want to wait till they get in the midst of the construction? Perhaps that'd be April. That'd be about the middle of the construction cycle, maybe, or May. You want me to pick a month? Do we want to flip coins? What do you want to do here?
You're
It
the
doesn't matter
chairman.
with me, any month.
Spring of the year, the weather might be a little more predictable in January, February, but it doesn't matter to me.
Well,
We just kind of like to see things.
Well, a member at this table does not like to go during the dark hours. We're not going to mention Ms. Shelton's name because that would embarrass her.
Smyrna is well lit.
Smyrna
Yes,
is
it is,
well
and it's
lit.
right off of Main
It's well
Road,
lit.
so
Uh-huh.
you're able to find it easily.
Well, why don't we come in April?
Okay, that sounds wonderful.
Do we need a motion to that effect? All right, I'm setting April,
All right.
okay? And if we don't change it, we're going to come in April.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, that's great. We'd
All
love to
right.
have you. Love to show you where we're at.
And he's
We'll be
bringing the
back.
food.
Any other questions from Ms. Garrett? Thank you, Ms. Garrett, very
Thank you,
much.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate your support.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Jolly? Status report of the school building program. We have two status updates tonight, but Ms. Jolly has the first one. And you've had, just so the public knows, I know we say this every month, but this is a rather detailed report, but we've had it for, well, at least a week. I've reviewed it on the 22nd and the 24th, so we've had it at least that long. Ms. Jolly, please.
I guess you can tell on here that I've got the new budgets for the Stewart's Creek and Eagleville in here. When you get this report next month, it's gonna be very condensed. I'm gonna wipe out all these other projects and it'll just be down to these two. So you won't look at all this other stuff. And, that's really all I've done to this report this month, is to do all the changes y'all made last month.
What page are you on,
On
Teresa?
page 5. see all the other stuff is zeroed out. And
School board and us and the county commission, I guess, moved a lot of money, didn't we, to cover the Eagleville and
Yeah.
put the extra money in the Stewart's Creek and so forth, so. Any questions from Ms. Jolly? Shelley, I appreciate the work you do, and I know this committee does. We don't say that enough to folks that do such a great job. Questions? Need a motion to approve then, please? And a second?
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Phillips. And a second. Commissioner Turner, all in favor, if there are no questions, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jolly. Mr. Clardy has, my request, and I really appreciate it because it's, well, I appreciate his attitude on keeping us informed. I asked him to, since it is such a huge project and the Eagleville project waited over 2 years, I asked Mr. Clardy to come and kind of keep us updated, and this is not something he'll be doing on a regular basis, but this is the beginning of both those projects, really. We're right in the first month. Eagleville barely getting started. Stewart's Creek is on a roll, and Mr. Clardy, I appreciate it very much, and I appreciate what you brought into us. And you have a status update there, 1129. Committee to take a look at, complete with pictures. So, Mr. Clardy, please.
Okay, we'll just go through the report first, and I'd also like to invite the committee down when it stays lighter longer to take a look. Maybe we can have a meeting over at the elementary school or the middle school, and then move across the street to the high school during construction and just have a tour. So you can think about that in late spring or early summer. Stewart's Creek High School, we're making great progress down there. We're currently putting footings in, laying concrete block. About probably 60% of the storm sewer is in. Most of the rough grading's done. We're starting to put gravel down on some of the parking lots and the main road through the project. We're making good progress, other than the last couple of weeks where we've had a lot of rain. And of course, when it's raining too bad and gets too wet, we try to keep people off the pad so they don't destroy it, and the work that we've done on that. So if you want to just kind of look through the pictures, you can see some of the grading on that first. I didn't number these, but first picture, you can see our erosion controls up around the site and some topsoil stockpiled. Second page is a large storm sewer drain that drains into the detention pond on the other side of the road. When we built the first two schools, we made sure the detention pond was large enough to take care of the paving and impervious surfaces that will be presented with the high school. Next picture, you can see water line and plumbing line is stocked, and you can also see the batter boards there in the foreground for laying out the building, and some of the roads where we have stone down, so we're not carrying a lot of mud off the side onto the city street.
Mr. Clardy, getting back to that
Yeah.
culvert that's going into the retention pond.
Yeah.
I'm not real sure if we were under stormwater management regulations the way we are now when we built those two other schools, but this particular drainage system you've got meets those standards?
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay.
It's been reviewed by the state stormwater people, and We saw this coming, so we designed that detention pond large enough to handle that.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's good. That's a great question. You can see a junction box there on the next page. It just kind of shows you how massive that system is. On the following picture, you can see the footings that are going in there, and that was caught on a dry day.
Still leaves on the trees too.
Yes, sir. But it's pretty amazing how the site's coming. Here's another picture of the grading on the one side of the pad, building pad. Then you see footings with concrete block going in. You see the middle school across the road there. That's the middle school. The next one, you can see footings, block stock, sand, masonry, cement, and the elementary school. And then again, another picture of footing. So we made quite a bit of progress even with the rain. The masons have been working. I think everyone is trying to keep all their people busy, so they've kept them out there even in the rain.
Do we give a copy of this to the school when it opens, where they have records of where their drains are and all that? I know that you usually have a roll of.
We keep them. We keep these along with as-built, so that the contractor, any time that he puts anything in, he draws the lines on it and dimensions it. Mm-hmm. Along with a lot of the other documentation over in our maintenance building. We have a plan room in there, so we file all of that stuff. We give the school a set of plans, mm-hmm. and then we keep all the other records of the construction. But we're able to go in and pull a set of those plans even from some of the older schools, the lot older schools. Mm-hmm. And find stuff that we need to know about.
What brings it to mind, and so fresh with me right now, City of Laverne's putting a 24-inch water line across my property, and they was looking for the sewer line. They couldn't find it. Well, in the 25 years, I've never had any sewer problems. And this, when I was seeing these drains and so forth, that's what brought it all to mind. Do you have that where they can say, yes, this is where the drain is, this is whatever, whatever?
Yes, ma'am. We track those. The construction superintendent has each trade drawings laying out there, and they go in and mark that stuff. It's called as-built drawings. So built in place. Sometimes you have little issues where you have to change items mm-hmm. on the site with directive from the architects, civil engineers, that type of thing. So you make sure you mark those up, any mm-hmm. difference from the original plan.
Mr. Carty, I know this is not your area, but do you have any idea how far before the school opens that school zoning will be announced?
I don't really. That's a question for the director, Mr. Gill, and also the school board.
Okay. And then this is a fairly, and this is again outside your area, I know, but this is a fairly compact campus. And if you've ever been on a high school campus when they let out, it's about the most dangerous place to be that there is. And so I'm just curious, is there something that's in place, I guess, in terms of traffic flow and that kind of thing, where you at least try to keep them away from the elementary side? Like, will there be exits more that funnel these kids in a certain direction?
They will.
I know they adjourn at different hours, but it's if you have an after-school function, right, they could still all easily be there at the same time.
We have had a traffic study of the site done, and we haven't sat down and reviewed that yet. But when we do, we will be sitting down with both principals from the other schools and work out a plan also with the SROs on site to get the traffic in and out as safe as possible. The,
Clardy, I mean, this is a little bit along that line. We have put in the pipeline the provision of a traffic signal out there on, coming out from Morton Lane. And I think we'll have that done by the time school opens.
Okay.
I think the state has resisted it for a while, but now they're
I think they're gonna come along with it.
good. Good. Thank you for adding that.
But speaking of that, I can recall way back when, probably Ms. Cook can too, when we first started building Stewartsboro, there was issue with bridges and widening of the roads and things like that. And I thought we were forward-looking enough to repair all of those to where they would handle traffic through the high school construction. And this goes back a long, long, long time. That's still, like the bridge that goes over Stewart's Creek itself, all of those were built to maintain traffic flow with the high school construction. So
Yes, they were, and actually the town of Smyrna put those in because we paid the impact fee, so they took care of the road and the sewer out there. And Morton Lane goes back beyond the new fire hall that's built out there, and it's been widened, and the light that he's referring to is up at Amaville Road and Morton Lane, also with a extra turning lane in there to keep that traffic safe. So, and of course we've had a few water issues out there, but now we're resolving them. The runoff water with the storm drains and things that we're putting into place now. Any other questions? We'll move on to campus school. And as you recall, we have spaced campus school out, and we have until August of this, of 2012 to complete that. So what we're lacking is mainly the plumbing and the column and the front porch on that building. So we'll be doing the plumbing on the inside. We'll keep 2 restrooms in the building open all the time, and we'll start at the top floor, work down on the plumbing, and hopefully get that done. And then when summer hits, or summer break, at the end of the school term, we will go out to the front and do all the other items that need to be done. We already have an open dialogue with MTSU and campus to make sure that we've met everything. We've already started reviewing the list, and so that there won't be any question at the end of when we think we're finished, we want to be finished. So.
Mr. Mayor, how long is that contract we signed with MTSU to continue operating campus school?
I don't know. I'll have to get that back out in.
Was it a 10-year?
It was
10 or 11. I don't know.
good question, but I really don't recall. It's multiple.
When was it signed? Were you asking if it was coming up?
No, it was a couple of years ago.
We still have several years.
Oh, okay, there's still some, I didn't know if that's why you were asking if we were gonna bump into it.
There was a lot of talk about closing campus school.
I remember something just 7 or 10, I don't know exactly. But Mr. Clardy then had, this was like a 3-year project or thereabouts to get the building through those phases to get it up to the complete compliance of what they wanted.
And I know the county commission at the time and the school board also wanted to make sure that the contract ran long enough that we felt like we were putting money into it that would get our money back out of it.
It has to be a concern. I can't remember how long ago that was when we signed that contract, but I thought it was only a 10-year contract. So,
well, it's been 3 years because he's just about finished with his 3-year building project.
Yes.
Okay. We'll retrieve that.
Thank you.
Kittrell Sewer, which is part of the capital improvement. We had a sewer plant out there that the state had pretty much told us we were gonna have to rebuild. We had a effluent permit to go into the stream out there, so we have put in a drip system out there now that will take care of the school. And it's also set up so that we can extend it out if there's ever another building put out there on that site. And that's coming to completion now.
The drip system's gonna serve just the Kittrell School?
For right now, yes, that's correct. There's no other entities that are.
This will be our first, this type of system for a school?
Other than Brown's Chapel, and of course that was in agreement with the developers that they paid for part of that system so they can use it.
Okay.
And then, mine doesn't have Eagleville in here, but Eagleville, do you have Eagleville in there?
Right before.
All the contracts are written on Eagleville. And we have the old building that's sitting out within the footprint of the proposed building, and the one that's going to be constructed ready for demo. We have all the useful stuff that we can reuse out of it, and also the portables that are in our way or in the process. They should show up any day when it's not raining. They're coming up from Mississippi, the group that we have on contract to move those. So once we get those out of the way, we'll be digging the basement and doing side work out there.
The old building that's being demolished, how old is that building?
I don't know.
It's an old concrete.
I knew it had to be really old. I just wondered if it was 50 years old or older. How old is that thing?
What is our oldest building, school building, do you know?
John Coleman?
From McFadden.
John,
Maybe.
McFadden.
McFadden.
Maybe.
McFadden.
McFadden is older than I am.
And of
Well,
course, part
campus
of the
school is
central-
old as not our building, but campus school.
Still looks as good as
Had a
you do. over
75th
there.
anniversary 2 years ago.
I knew somebody was gonna say something.
Mr. Carter, you're moving portables. Now, you usually move them during the summer, so
Right.
you don't disrupt school where you're going with them. Are you all able to move them to somewhere to utilize them now, or are you just gonna stockpile them and
We're
go ahead and put them
going
in
to-
place in the summer?
We're going to go ahead and get them hooked up and get them ready to use, which is not too long a process. It's a 30-day process, but the principal out there has made arrangements to take care of those students in other areas of the building until we can get him.
Yeah, and I was talking about where you're gonna take them to, where they're going from, or are they staying on site?
They're staying on site.
They're just being shuffled around
So
on
they
site.
can-
Okay.
There's one of them that I don't know if it can make another move in that damn without having to rebuild it. Then I just wanted to, I didn't bring you a copy of this, but capital improvements. We've got 2.3 million in here, or 2.2 million, with $100,000 carried over. And this is some time ago, the commission, Health Ed Commission, the committees, gave this money yearly to the school board for building upkeep and for major capital repair. And that's what the Kittrell sewer came out of this year. Roofing, we have re-roofed McFadden. We have Buchanan in for a re-roof job. Rockville Elementary is ready for a re-roof. Smyrna Primary is next in line. The rec's written for that one. Walter Hill is also in progress at this time. Renovation, McFadden, we had $100,000 in there to pick up some other projects this year. And we've currently at 75,000 spent of that money doing those things. We've got about $25,000 worth more work to do over there. Of course, we have 400,000 for campus school to get it completed. Paving, McFadden, we repaved that lot out there, that's complete. Riverdale, we added some parking at Riverdale, that's complete. And we currently have out to bid about $340,000 of new heat and air conditioning units for Smyrna High School. If you recall, we've already replaced Laverne and Oakland and Riverdale in the old annex for those. So we've made quite a bit of progress in the last several years since we've been getting that money. All of our roofs are in really good shape. There's some major roofing issues that y'all have helped us deal with, and we appreciate that.
Can I have that paper?
Mr. Flaherty, that, back to Eagleville for a minute, that house that was, the county purchased, how about, I think you were the chief negotiator on that house that was part of their campus, really. I mean, you almost went through the guy's yard to get to the football field back there, right? And I wonder what they're using that for at this time. Do you know?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know that our maintenance crews went out and brought it up to occupy by putting in exit lights and the things that the fire marshal recommended. So I know it's operational.
The structure itself was in pretty good shape.
It was.
It was a home.
Yeah. And I don't know, I think that some of the ag classes may be using it.
We're going to be glad we got that down the line somewhere. That was a very odd situation anyway.
It was. It's just a little inset in the campus.
Yeah. Hey, any questions from Mr. Clardy on any of this, Commissioner Allen?
I understand there's some proposed development in the vacant field that Smyrna High School currently uses for their football parking. Do you have any idea what we'll do if that development goes through?
Well, I've had one meeting on that, and right now, there's a lot of the things that have happened up there around the school. There are several plans with that shown on there as proposed access to that site. But nothing's ever been recorded. And so...
In terms of like an easement to the property, you mean?
Well, it's a little bit unclear at this point. So we just have to see what develops on that. But at this point, there's no easement into that side recorded.
Okay.
Into that side.
So it's on your radar?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Very much so.
But they're using parking that doesn't belong to the
Doesn't
county.
belong? It doesn't belong to us, no. Can you?
So whoever owns it could put a gate up
They
or a
can
fence
put
up at any point in time.
They can put up whatever they want.
This is the area to the right as you pull in the parking lot, a huge field there.
Actually-
That I always see covered in cars when the Bulldogs are playing.
That's it. We only own 1/2 of that road.
Move it where?
Matter of fact.
Well, and it's even big. It's a lot of the Little League teams use that area
Oh, is
for
that right?
practices and football and baseball. And so it would be a community impacting decision for sure.
And there's some discussion of
Proposed
the
development.
owner, which they have every right to do, I would assume, building something there.
Right.
Well, I'll say we appreciate the use so far from whoever
Yeah.
owner it is.
Absolutely.
Because it's been going on for years apparently.
It
and
has.
A whole lot of people worry about liability and this, that, and the other,
Right.
and if they're letting the athletic teams use it and the parking use it, then it's been a great asset for
It has.
apparently 24 or 5 years ever since the school was built.
It's been a huge asset, you know.
For those of you that need exercise like me, there's still a few available spaces to the south of that building, but you have to walk almost a 1/2 mile to get to the stadium. That's when I
Go
went
with that
the
big
last
field.
time.
Yeah, they're a
So
big
there,
field.
there are still some spaces down there, a few.
Any other questions?
Good report, thank you.
There's not really a report here to approve, We'll thank Mr. Clardy. If there are no further questions for him, I put on here that school board amendments, but Mr. Sandy said that they did not have any this evening. We're all very disappointed.
I'll guarantee he'll still come to the budget committee meeting and watch.
I think there was some surgery in his family. Didn't you say his sister was had some surgery and he's with her tonight? But he did tell me by phone a few days ago that he did not envision having any amendments tonight, and he went further to say, and this takes us right into number 6 here, and we'll do whatever the committee wishes to do. But he said that he did not envision having any school board amendments in December. So I just throw that out there to you, and we need to discuss. I understand our meeting is scheduled for the 20th. Is that correct? Which is.
Can we move it to the 19th?
I can't answer that one now.
There was one of the, I believe.
Public safety's on the
moved their
19th.
meeting to the 19th last night.
Do what?
Do we,
Public safety moved their meeting to the 19th.
Oh,
do we have to have a meeting at all on
No,
December?
well, that's
Is that
obviously.
not where you're going with it?
Yes,
I
sir.
do
Why don't we
believe.
just leave it
That's
on
why
the
you're vice
calendar,
chair.
and as you as chairman could cancel it if we have no business?
Okay.
We
can-
could tentatively cancel it with you having the option of deciding different.
Okay. All right. We will meet December 20th, but if he has no amendments, of course, school is not out on that day, I don't believe, but they're certainly preparing.
we have purchasing
And
just
you have
before this.
you have purchasing right before this meeting as well. So, okay. Is that the understanding that we're going to meet unless I cancel it? I'm just looking for guidance
Correct.
here.
Right.
That's correct.
Okay.
I was
All
thinking
right.
you were gonna cancel unless something came
I-
up.
And if the chairperson would make that decision before we make the public notice, so we won't
Right.
spend that money.
Okay.
If you choose to
So
cancel.
you want something by the 12th?
Whatever,
don't you?
about a week, I think.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Okay. I think the mayor has given us some guidance there, which maybe we're not all following, but I will follow it. I'll try to remember anyway. Okay, any new business? And from any committee member, I have just a little bit of new business. And really, it's just to get you to thinking about something. I'm just mentioning this, that's all I'm doing. The Motlow State is considering, and matter of fact, meeting as we speak, on their expansion. And they are going to ask at some point for some help. And they have informed me, without trying to convince me of anything, that they will start their request with us, which is probably appropriate. So I do not think, however, that will be in December. But we might spend a little time, and I need to do this as well, educating myself on their enrollment and their location, which I do know a little bit about. And I guess maybe I need to stop talking, but I think that request
They're
is,
having a fundraiser tonight.
they are, and the mayor wished some input here.
They're having a fundraiser tonight. I know because I had to take cookies out there.
Well, they had a reception tonight, and that's why I was a bit late, but I've already met with them previous to this meeting tonight, so I really think we need to seriously think about stepping up again with a one-time or maybe a 2-budget cycle sort of a participation in helping them get this last bit of money together. And so I want to work with you in the commission, and whatever we do, I want to put it into our budget recommendations in this next cycle so that we can see if we can work through that.
They told me that they wanted to start with health ed, and that they would. I asked, well, would there be a proposal, and they said they would be contacting me in the next. I gathered the next few weeks, with something that. But they will obviously have to present it to all of us, and I'll just invite them And I would suspect maybe January, February, I'm not really sure. I don't think December, however. Any other new business?
A lot of people don't realize the service Motlow does.
That's correct.
They're a tremendous asset to this community.
Well, they are.
MTSU is a wonderful university, right there, but not everybody has the means or the ability to get into MTSU, and MTSU is turning away students every year because they're just full. And Motlow is catching so many kids down there who just wouldn't be furthering their education if they weren't there. And I think we ought to do everything within our means to support them, because it is supporting these same children we're putting through 12th grade, and we need to keep furthering education if we can.
Well, since you brought it up, I have a granddaughter there, and she's about to graduate. So obviously, I do know it from that standpoint. And yeah, I would say I would echo exactly what you just said. It's clearly a real asset, and certainly to Smyrna Laverne area, absolutely. But I think the entire county, the entire mid-state. Any other comments or new business? Well, Becky's looking at the clock. That means she's going to write down the time of adjournment. And
Which is right now?
Which is right now. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you so much, committee.